Hey, welcome back to the Vid-Bits. It's Brian here with another episode of Game of Day May. We're going to rock some Donkey Kong Jr. Arcade. Again, like if you've seen the Popeye episode or the regular Donkey Kong episode, I just kind of consider this beat if I can go through and loop it once, go through a different loop. Try to do a couple if we can. I'll probably do both versions, so let's go ahead and start with the English version, and then maybe we can see the differences between the ROMs. But I love me some Donkey Kong Jr. It's very fun. It's a little bit different, and you know it's kind of crazy because we got a game where Mario's the villain. I mean, there's two Marios really, but yeah, he's the villain. You know, capturing Donkey Kong and trying to keep him from his son. What a bad guy, you know. Basically, the goal of Donkey Kong Jr. in a lot of these stages is just to try to get up and down these vines. And you wanna, you have scoring opportunities by knocking down fruit and trying to kick clap traps. But basically, you just go from vine to vine and try to get up to the top of the stage. And whatever you have left on the bonus will be your bonus score for that stage. You want to collect these different keys from each part of it, and once you've collected all the keys from the sub-stages, then in the last stage you use the keys to actually free Donkey Kong from the cage, and in this case, this is one loop, but I don't really consider it that until I show you all the stages if I can, so if you've noticed, I've tried to do that in the previous ones with Donkey Kong and Popeye to try to at least make sure that you see all the stages once, and we'll just do a nice little play session of it. I mean, in this case, it does go out of order, so this is technically the fourth stage. Or, I'm sorry, yeah, the fourth stage. It, like Donkey Kong, has 4 stages, and has an alternating pattern based on the difficulty that it's set on. And the goal in this case is just to basically press up all the keys into the locks. And I'm doing a tactic where I'm going and doing 2 at once. But, it's not necessarily the easiest. You just gotta be very mindful of everything that's going on. I mean, I got double clap traps on this, and I can't really stay on it. But I gotta try to push both those keys up and avoid all of these flying birds. That's sad. I thought I had it. Unfortunately, when you go up like with one vine, it takes so much longer to get up it. There we go. Not a very big bonus there, but we did get through it. And it's going to loop you back to the first one, but again, I don't really consider it successful until we've at least seen all the boards once and went on to the next level, because level 2 is going to show us some more. Start off with the vines board. If you're lucky, you can clip that guy there. It's just, it gets progressively more and more difficult, even though you have so few stages. You're kind of trying to... Oh god, that was close. You're trying to get it done as quick as possible so you can get the most on your bonus points, but at the same time, the longer you hang out on the board, the more enemies that are going to spawn. That's good. That's a good. You gotta make sure that you don't drop from too high, because it has the same situation with, as Mario, where there's a specific amount of fall distance. Now you can see the second stage here. Basically, it's a little bit more difficult. The vines are replaced by chains, and we have a little bit of parkour that we have to do here. You want to jump on here and kind of splat down onto this platform, go to the edge, and jump straight up when it's down. Extend your hand, back up and go up just a little bit. You extend your hand, and the second you see it go on the vine, you can move over. You're gonna have an opportunity for some scoring up here if you're gutsy enough. Splat down on an enemy like that. And then again here too, but I missed it. This is the difficult part. I was dumb. I can't believe I survived it. You want to drop all the way down, and you want to wait for the right time to come up, and then try to get back over. You're going to see that they have a shorter pattern. 1, 2. You're going to wait for the short guy. That's him. And then hurry up over. You will have a lot smaller of a timing window as these progress. Cool, I got one. Jumped over, and we retrieved the key. We're moving on. Alright, so we didn't see all 4 stages, so I'm hoping that we can get in a situation to do that, because I won't consider it successful unless we don't. We could definitely try the other ROM too, the Japanese ROM, and see the differences of those. Alright, get that guy and just come over as quick as possible and drop down. Being mindful, obviously, of all the rotation of these birds. Oh god, I forgot. They drop all the way to the bottom once you get to the second one. That was just horrible. That's okay. We can just try to do the strategy where you get the one that's closest to you first. I could have waited and popped that guy then. I knew that guy was coming. Oh god. Alright. Again, you're going to have more control of going up and down fast if you have 2 vines grabbed. But it's also just a lot more risky because you have, you know... Ah, weak. Weak, weak, weak. That's alright. Get that guy. Go all the way up. Look at all those freaking claptraps. Chase those guys up. Dropping down. Oh, thought I was gonna get them both. Just got one. That's alright. You just really want to look at the overview of how they're moving and try to find your time to get in there. And also be careful because you don't know how that guy's going to come up. Weak, weak, weak. I really don't want to be chasing this claptrap like this, but I will. See how low that guy drops? That guy drops. Bam. Got it. Nice. Whew. That was a little risky. On to level 3, and I really got to get through all of this to really consider this successful, because level 3 is when then you go through all 4 boards. So it's not super guaranteed, you know. These games are difficult. Alright, that guy goes down. Wait to see how that guy moves. And eventually you get to the point where it's just you're just trying to survive. No, I knew it in the middle of that jump. Well, I really don't consider that successful, so let's go back to the title screen and try the high score mode in the Japanese version. See if we can do it this route. I have broke 100,000 on the Japanese version. Almost puts me in the top 25 scoring on this. Anybody could jump on here and download this arcade classic and compete against me or anyone, you know, that's doing this, trying to get high scores on these old ROMs. I believe the Japanese version is kind of like when they have the international version on regular Donkey Kong. It gives you the ability to cycle through the stages differently. I can't believe I did that. I'm just gonna restart. You know, Mario's a jerk in this game. It's just like, look at him doing this animal abuse gimmick. And it's funny because if you think about it, like, people tried to draw parallels to that for a long time. You have you know, people thinking that Yoshi was getting punched in the back of the head to move when really it just supposedly is just him being like, let's go forward. But, you know, they tried to draw some parallels to that because of this game. Gosh, I can't live with that either. You can't die in the first screen if you want to loop it like 3 times, so you only get 1 extra guy on the whole thing. The problem is, I think that, you know, let's maximize scoring potential here. And that's important, you know? That's the whole point of these score attack games, is to get the highest score possible. So, if you're not thinking about scoring routes or how to get an extra 100 points here or 100 points there, but then you also have to combat with yourself how long it takes to get to a specific place, knowing that that bonus counter that's going down is literally, you know, affecting how much your score could be. Alright, so looks like they're just going to play these boards sequentially, which is more akin to if you've played this ROM on the Donkey Kong Classics for the Nintendo. You're going to see that this goes sequentially. They don't do randomization or anything like that. Like, I like these because, you know, again, like, the difference also, too, in this case is they actually include all the boards in the NES ROM for this game, whereas they don't do Mud Pies or Cement Factory, whatever you want to call it, in pretty much any of the home ports with the exception of it's inside Donkey Kong 64 as an unlockable, and I've never played that, so admittingly. But as far as like all the boards being represented and then the randomizer of it, or how it, like, you know, structures how you replay them. So that's board 2. Now hopefully you'll get to see the third board that we couldn't do in the last loop. Plus you get to see this cool little cutscene. We're going to Mario's hideout. Look at that. Mario's got a freaking hideout. Hideouts are usually for bad guys. It's crazy. Here it is. It's basically like an electric maze, and you're trying to not get zapped as you get ready to go try to help your father escape. And, you know, in the other ROM, I wouldn't have got this till Wave 3, versus I had a decent amount of practice on this growing up on the, like I said, the aforementioned Donkey Kong Classics ROM, because you get to guaranteed play every board, versus, you know, you can see the Japanese ROM, they're giving you an opportunity to see every board, but, you know, not the American ROM. It's a lot more difficult. I was hoping that was going to happen. Double. I always want to be mindful where these guys go, so I stay in the middle because of that right there where he segued off. And you don't know when they're going to decide to drop. And you also have an ability in the lower parts to basically juggle. I'm going to die. Shit. Sorry. You can basically, you know, get yourself in a pattern where you're just hopping these guys for points. And it's fun to do sometimes. I think I probably got my highest score by grinding that out, where I got to the furthest version of this level I could, and then, you know, point press that, and on this screen until the timer ran out, until all of my guys ran out to get the score I got now. I believe I did that to maximize my score, trying to break into the top 10. Oh, see, I'm glad I stopped because I would have just went right down on that guy. That's not right. 2 of those guys. Okay, so I'm going to be more mindful and wait a second and see if he pushes this guy out, and then wait for the guy on the bottom to loop again until it matches up with a good situation. That's probably okay, but then I would have had a problem on that jump. That's good. And then wait, jump. There you go. Just had to be a little bit more deliberate with my movements there. Mario still just insisting on keeping this gorilla away from his son. Just what a jerk. I mean, I get it, you know. The story people don't realize is, I don't really know why, but apparently it was his pet gorilla, you know, and then like monkey or whatever, and then like he like something about he abused him one day or something. Like, and so like he was tired of getting abused, so he stole Pauline, and so it looks like Mario is the hero, but not really. Not really if he was being abusive to his pet, and then his pet was just like sick of it. I don't know. Oh, that's bad. I'm insisting on screwing up here, and all I'm trying to do is loop all these boards one time to consider this beaten, which is, again, only can be contested by reaching a kill screen, and I just don't believe that. I don't know. As a child, I had to find some measurement to make me believe I beat a game. So in this case, if you see all the boards once and it says thank you and you've done the objective, which we know at this point is just to make sure that we save Donkey Kong. If you think about it, like sometimes people like, you know, I know Donkey Kong sometimes has been like the antagonist, but if you think about it, like this is where you initially got your sympathy for him and started looking at him as a possibly good character. Alright, we're gonna give it the best try here. Save your Papa. We're gonna do it. We're gonna save our Papa. And we're gonna be able to call it. Even though I really wanted to do it on the American ROM too, but geez, does that seem to be a little... It's difficult. I'm definitely capable of doing it. But for time's sake, we'll see where we're at. It would be also neat just to break one of the high scores, so you never know. Did I get it? Yes. That's really all you can get out of those guys on the first deal. I'm trying to get over here safely. It's not happening. It's not happening. Oh my god. No, 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 no. No. Come on, man. I gotta just restart it. So close. I had to restart it again because I hit start. I really just should not be focusing on the high score. I'm just trying to loop the boards. It's my competitive nature. I don't know how to really play something half-assed. I won't do it. He comes in. Bam. Over, over. Wait to see if he comes down. He doesn't. Just so you jump for time's sake. Let him pass. Jump over twice. You just don't go back down for that at this point. You just leave that other fruit. And you come in, jump, and you just do it. There we go, 6,800. Can wait for that to come back. Super bounce, I didn't do it, so you just keep going because it's going to take more time and you're going to possibly die just trying to walk back over there. But you can pretty much super bounce onto that platform. You want to wait so you don't get dropped on the head there. See how close that was. Come to the edge, jump, splat down, go to the edge, jump up here, tap up one click, extend your hand. When you reach the ball, you can move over. And then here you just basically want to look at the patterns if you're going to try to get some guys here. Oops, I missed that guy. I got that guy, that's cool. But you want to know that you want to wait for the guy that comes along the top there. It's kind of hard to move on any of the other guys. Oh god. That was just dumb. I'm restarting again. It's gonna be close. I got 44 minutes to try to loop this one time before I don't successfully do this. So, pressure's on. No pressure. Pressure's on. I'm just not going to worry about scoring. I'm just going to worry about just getting to the boards. It's like the exact opposite of how you feel. I feel like you should play these games when you have all this stuff I could have done, all this point scoring, and I just ran through it and did nothing because I didn't want to die. Wait for it to come back. Bam! Got up there. So it's the same situation here. As soon as that comes down, I can jump up, tap up, extend your hand. Usually wait till what appears to be where his thumb is comes. I'm just not going to worry about trying to get scoring through here. I'm just going to try to get through here. You just got to wait till that guy comes down, because then you know you have enough time to go down here. And you're going to wait till the next one that goes along the top. All three over. Double up here. Wait for the one that you can jump. Jump up if you want. That's all optional. Alright, that's 2. There's your extra guy at 10K apparently. That's the only one you get. Enjoy it. Alright, like I said, you can put a situation together where you can juggle jumping over these sparks. I just choose not to. Sometimes it just depends on where I'm at, but it seems like I've not been getting very favorable eyes, so I'm just trying to run through this once, and then we can do whatever. Once I loop it once, I'll just do whatever, but geez, some of these things that are happening. And take care of that. I want to wait in the middle because you don't know how he's going to go. Especially 2 here. That's just dangerous. Felt like you have to go at that point. He goes. And I just did a long jump there. I was pretty fortunate. And we got through it. So now, as long as we can put all these keys in place, we'll be in a good sitch. But who knows? You play it how it lies. Kill that claptrap. I like to wait till the one that's coming along the very top goes, because then I feel like I have the most time. Or if they all go, then you're in the clear to make a move. As you see, I like the strategy going on the far right first and getting those taken care of, and then going back to the front, because I just feel like those passes at the front are a little bit easier to gauge. Alright. Just gonna risk it for a biscuit. And boom, got it. Alright, there's a loop. That's finally in the can. Jeez. So the Japanese version, while showing you all 4 stages and sequentially, it's still going to get more difficult because you have to play all 4 stages every loop. But you can see that there's higher scoring possibilities, so I guess that's the trade-off. Oh gosh, I can't believe I survived that. Go all the way down. And sometimes it doesn't hurt just to wait a little bit and see how those guys are going to go. Don't put yourself in a position that you're not prepared to respond to like that. I really just wish I had an arcade joystick, to be quite honest, because a controller, the D-pad only does so much for you, and the joystick is, you know, multi-directional, which in a way, now that we found that holding multi-directional inputs in on original Donkey Kong affects how enemy AI behaves if you are trying to steer barrels. I don't know if I necessarily consider that pretty legit, that you have the ability to play with a multi, you know, input and nobody can really know. We're not really denoting on these high score tables what specific controller you're using. So really that's only tailored to the user and then somebody, you know, inquiring about it. But also, if they record footage of this, then you're only really recording the footage of the gameplay, and nobody's required to be on camera to verify these scores. We just consider them legit because the server captured them. But then you can also see in some of the tables in some games, people have glitched out scores with impossible variables, like ending in a number that it can't end in, type stuff. Oh, come on. You threw that out the back end right in my face. Let's see if I can get this jump here. Boom. Nope. And I'm dead. And I'm dead. It's a bonus. Let's see if I can get it this time. Nope. And I'm dead again. Alright. That I consider that a loop, but we're gonna go through and do the English version one more time and see if we can redeem ourselves. Wait a minute, was that different from the other one? It was, so okay, that's fine. Alright, here we go. I got this. Let's see if we can break the 87K. Alright. So far, so good. Bad. It's just a bad. That's a bad too. Jeez. If you've ever heard people talk about these games, they're gonna tell you that they're a different beast every time you play them, and it's freaking true. Like, I mean, I don't know how accurate these ROMs are, but like, there's days I play it and I'll do the same thing, and I'll get to loop 3 or 4, no problem. And then there'll be times I play it, and the enemy AI just does dumb stuff. Like, oh, it's maddening, really, because that means on your best day, maybe the machine didn't cooperate with you. Maybe on your best day, you know, you could be doing well on certain boards and then find more aggressive enemy AI on others. It's a different beast, and I guess that's why, you know, it's lauded as a difficult high score to get. Or, you know, both of these games, you know, I think Steve Wiebe had them both at one time. And, I mean, they're both completely different as far as, like, how you probably prepare or train to play them consistently. And what you consider a wipe or how far you go into them when you're going for a competitive high score. But there's just so much variance. So, you can have a good day or a bad day. And it really isn't your fault sometimes. It's just how the machine lies, how the AI gives you a good lay, a good favorable configuration with all the good variables falling in your favor. You just hope that those happen more often than not, especially when other people are watching. Like, I don't remember the English ROM being so aggressive. It's just aggressive. This is the second screen. Like, somebody that has, you know, you go into that first screen and then you go into the second screen, it's just night and day, difficulty-wise. So these older arcade games, you know, you put a quarter in there and they're fine with that because there's a chance that you're just gonna die in the first minute, 2 minutes, you know? There's a quarter for them. Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. are just those games that are that hard. Put a quarter in, die in the first 3 minutes on the average playthrough. You really have to start to get good. And, you know, the cool thing is, when you practice on these ROMs, with the exception of the input device changing, you are, you know, able to learn technique and stuff that's definitely able to be applied to an actual machine when you see one. I can attest to my scores increasing because of practicing on these ports of the actual arcade ROM, that they're that accurate. The only difference is I'm using a different input device than a traditional joystick, so I don't even score probably as high as I could. Well, I didn't even tap that. I didn't. I know I didn't. But I accidentally thumbed the joystick is what it was when I was reaching for the D-pad and just toggled my arm over, because the joystick input in this case is extremely sensitive. Yep. It's just insane. The ramp is insane. But again, you can clearly see that my high score is 87 to 6, so like I can do better than 20,000, 30,000. It's just I'm not paying attention. I'm gonna try again. I'm really dedicated to trying to do the best I can for you. At least break 50K. You know, I know I can break 50K on the Japanese version, but I'm trying to do it on the English version. We'll see. Just that randomization of, you know, the AI is just hard. Missed him. Gotta wait for it to go back down. I really would love to own the combo arcade with Mario Brothers, this, and Donkey Kong. That's just awesome. I mean, as much as I would like to have a Donkey Kong, I could have the kit where you have more of those type graphics on the outside, but the combo of all three of them being a legal board that you can set high scores on would just be awesome, because you'd have all three of them, and they're all great games. Come on. That's dumb. God! Oh. Yep. Yeah. I don't even know what to say, man. I don't. I really don't. I'm gonna give this one more shot, then I'm gonna switch over to the Japanese ROM one more time, and then we'll see how high we can get on that, and then we're gonna call it. Not making excuses, but when you have a ball and pin joystick that's very short to the input, where basically you have to feel yourself moving it one direction or another, is a lot different than being in a situation where if I use the directional pad, I have a little bit less sensitivity, but if I accidentally toggle the joystick that's right above it, then it will just fling me wherever. And if I use the joystick because I feel like I have the sensitivity that'll give me the freedom as much as I want, then I will miss input all the time. So I'm not saying it's not user error, I just don't see how these are better methods of input for a game like this than the traditional joystick. So I'd love to get myself in a situation where I could have that worked well for these ROMs, so that I could try to score higher than I already have with just this, what I feel like a cruxed input. And it is me just bitching at this point, but it is what it is. I'm the one that can't score as high as I know I'm capable of because of my limitations. This is a great joystick for a lot of games. This is a great D-pad for a lot of games, and I just feel like for this specific game, it's not. I can't blame anybody but myself on that one. That's the truth on that. And the worst part is this arcade ROM's awesome, and I'm just way better at this on the than the Donkey Kong Classics ROM or port for the NES, and I just don't even like it as much. This is way better. It's just sad that I'm better at that because I don't think the AI is as sophisticated as it is in this version. So literally, like, I do better because it's a shittier AI. Hooray. I can't blame anybody but myself, man. Jeez. It should not be this difficult. Second board, first pass. It shouldn't. It's not. It's not. But you cannot refute that this seems like this is just super aggressive. I'm just annoyed at it at this point. I mean, that's just straight up the truth. And I love this game. I just don't get it. Again, you can see that my score does not reflect how crappy I'm doing, and it makes me angry. It's just not going to make me do any better to just scream about it, but God, I'm mad. Especially because it's like midway into Game of Day May, and I like wanted to pick some of the ones that I felt more comfortable later for days that I do my shoot real job and I go to work and stuff and come home and do them later. I'm like, oh, that's Donkey Kong Jr. I love that game. I'll do great. And it's just like, not today. Today you get to do subpar and not even break 50K on this. Alright, let's see what we can do. Again, we've looped it on the Japanese version, but not on the American version so far, which it is what it is, because the American version makes you do 1, 4, 1, 2, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to get better at the earlier boards, and they do get progressively more aggro. But when they start off aggressive, it's really rough to adjust, you know, and that's just crazy that many boards in, they're already trying to kick you off the arcade. And, you know, there's no, and most of the time, I think eventually they did have continues that they found a way to mod in there. And, you know, a continued high score obviously is not as impressive as a one coin score. So you have, and I did it again. There's a reason why you don't always go for the launch there, because you can definitely just die. But, you know, those one coin scores, basically, you know, that's one thing. But if you have the ability to put another quarter in and it keeps your score rolling, you know, and then there basically could buy your high score. So being able to get 100,000 points on an old school arcade game on one play was just impressive. That to me is like the measuring stick for a lot of those games, like the Galaga and Dig Dug and Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Donkey Kong Jr., Centipede, all of those games. If you can break 100K on one coin, then you are, you know, top tier player. But then it got to the point where if they had high score games, you know, later in the arcades, you just got to be wondering how much money did they spend to get that score. You know, and you can. If your score just keeps rolling over, you just keep paying to have a higher score, and you're not skilled, you just have more money than somebody else. As you can see, I've completely decided I'm not going to do the stupid thing of trying to do the super jump, because it's got me killed more often than not. Oh. There we go. I really just want this top guy here. There we go. And then drop down. I just kind of crawl up until I see that top guy there. And then try to hurry up and get over there as fast as possible. Alright. Alright. Let's just try to get some more points. Alright. Nice. That was an easy 1,000 points, so I didn't want to avoid it this time. I'm going to try probably get that every loop. And again, this is cool that he's just taking him away by helicopter. That's Mario in a helicopter taking away his dad, DK Jr.'s dad, to his hideout. Like, bad guy, our good guys don't have a hideout. Weird. Between that and the fact that there's 2 Marios, you know, on the screen, initially taking him away, that's weird. This game is just weird. That's why I think it's awesome. Like, people are like, you know, there's a game where Mario's the bad guy? And someone's like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah. Oh, right in my face. That's alright. There's a lot going on, and you just kind of have to just find your, like, zen in it. Knowing the different enemy AI's, you know, behavior, you know that... Oh, that's dumb. You know that the blue spark will go on one path, whereas the yellow will keep going around. There we go. You can walk over onto it too, if you have to. Just want to be secure in the path those guys are taking. Make sure that I'm mindful of the top guy on the top. Oh gosh, that was a mistake. I'm all over the place. Alright, I'm just going to try to walk over on it. There we go. Go for the top guy to go. Good. Jump early. Jump again early if I have to. Moving on. This is the end of the first loop, which, like I said, if I can complete this, I've already done it once, but definitely consider it a success as far as like showing you the story one time. Kind of just have to be mindful of how those guys go. Once the 4th guy goes, you're good. You can drop down, get to the middle. Take these guys up 2 at a time when you can. Just be mindful of looking at the top to see the claptrap that almost murked me right there. There we go. Took that guy out. Make sure you're low, so low that you don't get clipped by the bird. But you definitely want to be looking at Mario tossing claptraps at the top, because you don't know when he's going to drop those out. And they will just go down the route fast. And once you feel like you have enough space, you can definitely just take it all the way up. And that's loop 1. Now let's see if we can do it again and break 50k. That would just be great. I'd feel pretty good about it at least. And then, of course, Mario just gets kicked in the freaking head by a giant monkey foot. It's awesome. And the sound effects and the bass type things that sounds like in the cabinet, where it sounds like the bottom of the cabinet's dropping out and stuff when some of the bass noises hit. It's just great. Just old school greatness. I could have gone some easy points. I just figured I'd get a higher bonus and be happier with the points I was going to gain from that. I just walked off there. It's pretty dangerous to do that. There comes the egg. Then I can jump. Splat down on the platform. Go to the edge. You don't want to jump forward. You want to jump up. Extend your hand. Climb over. Yeah, don't make the mistake of jumping forward there. Just jump up. You just kind of have to be mindful of going up and down, and just until you feel good about it, Because if you, you don't, they're going to be right in your face. I know your bonus is eating away, but dying is not going to help you either. Look how close I was. I was at the very bottom of those. Risky business. Nice. Got that. Another quick 1,200 points. And the key. Sweet. Okay. Getting closer there. Going to the hideout again. Keep going. And it's a cool little throwback to Donkey Kong. Him using the same graphics as the umbrella or the parasol from Donkey Kong there. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool little throwback. I mean, I always try to get scoring, obviously, with each pass here. Again, it's a high score game. That's what you're trying to do. So, if you're not trying to get a high score while you're playing this game, I really don't know why you're playing it. That's the point. But also, I mean, because other than that, I guess you can say the point is to get as far as you can. But, that's also correlates with trying to get a decent score. Oh, he stopped there. That's okay. Oh, wow, that worked out in my favor. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was going to land right on him. Let this guy squeak by. He's going to generate another one. We'll let it squeak by. And again, I'm kind of waiting for basically what is the sprite limit, which is what dictates when he pauses generating. And then doing a long jump there. But that's really what it is you're waiting to see where that gap is. Oh. My stream froze. Well, guys, it looks like the stream froze. So we're going to go ahead and call it. I did do it successfully, so you can see that. We've looped it. I apologize, but, I was just playing to see if I could get a higher score at this point, and since I paused it, it made me restart it anyways, so... But I appreciate you guys hanging out. And for Game of Day May, Day 18. And tomorrow we're going to be rocking it again with Day 19. Have no idea what's on the agenda, but it will probably be a title for sure that you'll see an ending screen on. I was trying to just pepper these in here. And I appreciate you hanging out for them. We probably have exhausted the amount that I have to do for the rest of the month, but you'll never know. I'm really going to focus on making sure that we get to just completions of some titles. So, but then thank you again. I appreciate you, and we always appreciate you guys checking out what we have to offer you at the Vid-Bits, and stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.